Hey, what's going on, pilots? Welcome to another kit review video. Now, this one's going to be a little different, because this is a kit that I did not build on stream. It's something I built while I was away for some business training, and now that I'm back, I can kind of just at least go over the kit with you guys, so you can decide whether or not it's something you want to purchase in the future, or if it's just something that um you just want to see in one of my reviews. So let's get on to it. Um, this kit is the high grade GM Sniper II. This is a high grade Universal Century kit, and the cool thing about the lore behind the GM Sniper II is that it was the last and most advanced GM Sniper made during the 1 Year War. It also even had performance capabilities that superseded the RX-78-2, which is the Grandpa Gundam. So it was basically, in some aspects, it even outperformed a Gundam frame, which is really cool because you don't see a lot of GMs or mass-produced suits do something like that. The kit here was made in, or was first issued in 2020 or 2012. 2012. Imagine the sign of the times, huh? And it is part of the Mobile Suit Gundam 80 War in the Pocket kit or series. This kit is pretty cool. I had a really good time building it because there was really no issues or snags. Everything was pretty easy to clean. There really weren't a lot of issue nubs besides some things with the weapons. Like some small or some nubs and everything in small areas of the kit. But for the most part, really no issues at all. And obviously the thrusters on the backpack. Thrusters always an issue. I'm gonna always harp on it until Bandai decides to change it. The other thing was that there weren't really that many seam lines. And if there are, I'm probably going to go back and clean them up. Because it was before I kind of went on my seam line tirade, but I'll do that before I paint it. I don't really think there are a whole lot, and just looking at it in this aspect, I don't really see a whole lot at all. So the only thing that probably will have it are the beam sabers and maybe some of the parts of the legs and all that, but I don't really see any, so I think we're pretty much in the clear for that, which is great. The less seam line something has, the less I have to worry about anything when I go to paint it. All parts went together really well with this kit too. Again, for it being a slightly older high grade from 2012, there really were no problems here, and everything went together pretty tightly. This thing relies heavily on polycaps, so please be aware of that when building and when painting the kit, as to not get any paint on those polycaps, or any varnish or things like that. Make sure you always use masking tape on those things, please. But yeah, that's enough of that kind of portion. Let's kind of delve into the kit a little bit more, and go through some color separation and articulation. So I'll be right back. All right, and welcome back. So now we're going to actually get into the nitty gritty of the kit, and actually show off some of the features. As you can see here, the color separation is pretty good, and it's very faithful to the kit right out of the anime. There's not really any issues here for color correction. There's only a couple color correction stickers. If I can hold up. Yeah, that's it. That's all. The rest of these are all decals. They're all optional decals. And these are for the little worker that came with it, the Rhea, or Drakini, which I currently have disassembled and ready to paint up because he's going to be our channel mascot, Carl. So stay tuned for that, guys. I'm actually probably going to work on that this weekend. I'm going to try and at least get him primed up, and then I'm probably just going to wind up hand painting him. But without further ado, let's get back into this kit. You have some nice blues here, and then some nice light teals like you'd see on a Jigen or a GM custom, and then a very nice like aqua visor and camera here, which looks really nice, I think, with this, and it'll look really sweet if I kind of deck it out a bit to make it look a little bit more like nods and kind of repaint it in like to look a little bit more stealthy. So that's pretty good. And then it even has some hint of red in there, kind of breaks some things up. But all in all, faithful to the mobile suit. Not really a whole lot there on color separation. Just kind of trying to show off the kit a little bit. For the articulation of the kit, the articulation is kind of average. But it's good for a 2012 kit because the joints are very stiff. It has dual joint mobility here. It's not just along one joint, it has two of them, which is really nice. It looks like there's only one, but there's not. It kind of reaches in the forearm here. I'm trying to see if there's a better way to show it. Not here. It's kind of limited, I suppose. But there's two types of hands included for this kit for each weapon. So you got one hand for the sniper rifle, then you have one hand for the 90mm bullpup that comes with the kit. The knees are also double jointed, which is nice because it kind of gives you that advanced articulation. The torso can tilt back and forth, but very limited. It also depends. You can kind of back it up a bit, or like back it out a bit, and then you can kind of have some limited torso rise and fall. The waist can rotate 360 degrees, so you can kind of rotate that way, which is kind of nice. Kind of get some good poses off that way. And the front and side skirts are posable so that it kind of gets out of the way of the knees, especially when you're trying to do that classic sniper kneel. So something like this. You can also cut the waist part in the middle. I did see that you can kind of saw it so that way you have articulation for each leg. I probably will wind up doing that. Just so it looks a little more natural, because I'll probably have it in some sort of kneeling pose in the future. So like something like that, right? Something like that. Then you can kind of get it to where you're actually like kind of sniping with it. I'll probably have them more in a prone pose when I actually go to get them all situated in like their scenery and action bases and all that. But for now, I think it's pretty good with what it's got. It does say, I do remember this being double jointed, but for some reason it does not seem that way. So kind of sucks for this. But you can still get some pretty good articulation out of it. That goes like all the way up to here on the arm. Oh, my bad. Gotta be careful, you will pop stuff out of polycaps, but at least it's better than breaking stuff. So, So yeah, the articulation is kind of I would say slightly average, or maybe even below average for this kit. I'd probably give it about a flat 5 out of 10. Just because there are some limitations to everything, but it does have some things that I think are pretty good for a 2012 kit. Even has a visor that kind of flips down. The beam saber hilts kind of plug into the back here, and they're detachable, which is really cool for a gimmick. The shield can be attached 2 ways with the L adapter here, so you kind of see how you have that. You can kind of attach it like one of 2 ways, either like that, where it's like something like this, or like this underneath, or you can flip it on this one, where you kind of have your standard shield configuration where it's a little bit more situated on the forearm. You can kind of block a little bit better. Like I showed off earlier, the visor flips up and down. It's very, very nice. I think it's one of the coolest features of this kit. Because even some of the newer, like, Ecos Gigans and some of the other ones are going to be working on, like, the Conroy and all that, you actually have to swap the visor parts to get that kind of flip down. But, or that flip down look, or like visor active look. But yeah, it does come with those 2 beam sabers. It comes with a 90mm bullpup weapon that I showed off earlier. It's pretty nice detail wise. It probably could use a little bit more detail, but it's a good place to start. I mean, scribing that would be easy. And then it has the 75mm sniper rifle that comes default with the kit. And then it has the shield. And of course the Draken E, but that is not here. That is, again, disassembled, so I don't really have it to show off. But if you want to see it, please go to my Instagram. It is Carl. I have a couple pictures of him on the Instagram. I will be having him pose regularly with some of the new kits for Instagram. So he's kind of going to be our Instagram mascot, and I'm going to paint him up in the colors of our channel. So, yeah. So we can move on to the stickers. Stickers are pretty nice in terms of something that you get. Like, this is honestly more stickers than some kits you get with some or some high grade kits that are on the newer end. This is really like, you got a lot of decals here that you can kind of do with what you want. Obviously, it calls them out in the instructions where to place them in accordance with where they're at in the show. But it's not too vast, but it comes with a lot of good details or decals. Now, I'll be right back, and we can kind of get into the nitty-gritty of third-party stuff, some customization, and what I plan to do with this kit. Hey, so now that we're back, we can kind of address some of the other things here. So in terms of decals that aren't just Bandai made, you can find some pretty decent decals for the Master Grade kit. Now, you will kind of have to cut or size things down depending on where you're placing things or what you're doing with those kits. You might have to kind of just shoot from the hip if you're using that to kind of customize your kit. But you can also find generic 1/144 scale decals and some other decals across the internet to kind of throw on there if you kind of want to do your own thing. But in terms of kit faithful decals, you're really only going to have possibly some ones you can pull from the Master Grade kits, but otherwise you're just going to have to roll with what they give you. I personally like the ones by G Rework. Those are really nice, and that's all the Master Grade GM Sniper II. It looks really cool, looks a little modern. I don't feel like it has as old of a feel, so if you're kind of going for the classic look, definitely try and see if you can find some water slide decals or use the stickers to kind of give that feel. Or Delpy. I think the MG Delpy decals for the Master Grade are going to be good for that too. Now for the paint scheme for the kit, I haven't really gotten all there yet. I either want to do a stealth scheme with some like black, some dark grays, the usual kind of colors, purple, red, that I throw out there, or I kind of want to do maybe a foliage. I have trouble saying that word. I'm sorry. Don't berate me in the comments. But for foliage, I kind of want to hit it with either probably a tan or olive drab base, but I almost want to do tan because it's kind of still setting it apart from the strike team a little bit. Some browns, some olive drab in there still, and black, just kind of for like an old environmental camo scheme. And then for the actual customization plans, there's a lot of stuff I am looking to do with this. I want to go out and get like just some fabric, but almost like a woven or canvasy style fabric to kind of make either a chamal or a hood or some camo elements for the GM Sniper II to kind of make it stand out, make it look a little bit different than the Ghost, and kind of just doll it up a little bit. And then I want to kit bash the weapons with some 30-minute mission leftovers. I'm trying to decide if I want to kind of kit bash the rifle with the longer barrel from the Alto weapon, or if I kind of just want to build my own sniper rifle weapon for it out of the 30-minute mission parts, but I haven't really gotten there yet. I want to add at least 2 more lenses to the visor, like one kind of on the tilted parts, so it kind of has like a tri-nod system. I think that would look really, really cool. And then I'm going to add shields and shield arms onto the backpack, or onto a backpack, and then swap that out with the one it has for the Kamaris Vidar pack. I think that would look really cool, and the purpose of that would be to kind of provide a way for it to fire with cover, with improvised cover, or provide a base of a solid base of fire, so they can kind of flip down from the back when they're not in shield form and kind of act as a brace when you fire, like artillery legs almost. So that's kind of what I'm looking to do with this kit in terms of customization. And of course, it is a sniper kit, so the main role will be a sniper in the stealth team. I'm trying to look and see, I'll probably get some PLA rods or something like that to kind of make suppressors on whatever rifle option I go with for this one. It is a really cool kit. I really did enjoy it. I think it's pretty solid for how old it is, and it comes with a lot of really sweet gimmicks. That dragon alone is really cool. I feel like people can do some really, really interesting things with that. They can maybe deck it out, make it look a little ridiculous, or just, have it as a nice like piece in a hangar, to kind of look like it's working on some mobile suits. So yeah. Without further ado, guys, thank you for checking out this video. Thank you for kind of trudging along here with me for the review. And as always, pilots, make sure you grab your hobby gear and sortie out and hobby on. Hey, what's going on, pilots? If you like the kit in this video, then I highly recommend stopping and seeing our friends at the Gundam Shoppers Network. On that website, you can find multiple Gunpla kits in various grades. You can also find things like Gundam option sets and decals for your custom builds. You can even find hobby tools and other hobby items that will help you build your Gundam kits as fast and as clean as possible. Gundam Shoppers Network also has a very extensive community section. In this community section, you can find things like Gunpla building resources, Gunpla model kit reviews, and recommended US and international retailers. Now, this is one of the most important sections I think that they have to offer, because if they don't have the kit available in their stores, they will still make sure that you have all the resources available to you to make sure that that kit gets into your hands, even if it's from another vendor. The Gundam Shoppers Network also has a news section that features things coming to the site in the future, various discount coupon codes, and they also have some interviews that they conduct with content creators such as Plamo Therapist. So if any of those kits, tips and tricks, and resources interest you, then I'd highly recommend checking them out. And as always, pilots, sortie out and hobby on, and I'll see you in the next video.